Are there too many board games being produced these days? The answer may surprise you. I'm Caravan from Gaming Caravan, and I do these polls all the time. If you want your voice to be heard in these polls, go ahead and go to the description of this video, join the Facebook community, and you can have a say in every single poll we do that we make videos of. If you like what we do, go ahead and subscribe and like this video now if you want to like it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So I had 156 votes on this topic. Are too many games releasing these days? 21% said yes and 79% said no. The points that the people were making for the fact that there are too many games releasing and it's hurting the board game industry is effectively that the bad games hurt the reputation of all board games. And that could be seen as a valid claim. However, that's like saying that bad music being overproduced makes all music bad. Queen is still Queen. My Chemical Romance is still a banger. Panic! At the Disco still used to be good. And plenty of others. Too much bad music doesn't really override the fact that music as a whole is good. Now, I know for a fact board gaming is still niche in nature, but those of them who say, you know, oh, these bad board games are bad, you know, I hated Risk, I hated Catan, I hated Monopoly. That's back when board games weren't even overproduced. The difference is that those were the games that we had access to at the time. In the 90s and the 80s, we had Sorry, we had Risk. We had, 2000s, we had like Carcassonne. We had some games that were not fantastic. They were products of its time for sure. And people liked it because for various reasons. Sometimes it wasn't even the game itself. Sometimes it was just the fact that we could spend physical time with people who we love and we enjoy to spend time with, like family, like friends. Keep in mind the fact that too much bad games is kind of a subjective statement. Now, yes, because there's so many board games being produced these days, that you are bound to not like most of them, because unless you're an omni gamer who literally enjoys just sitting down at a table no matter how horrible a game is, you're going to not like a majority of games that are published. I don't like co-ops, and if let's say even half the games being published are co-ops, I most likely won't like 90% of those co-ops. I immediately won't like 40% of the games coming out these days. But that does not mean the games are being overproduced, because with all the games being produced, with like all these new publishers, all these designers and artists putting their heart and soul into it, we have so much selection now than ever for you to find something you actually enjoy. If you like video games, we have a million video game IP board games. If you like books, we have board games based on books. We have Pride and Prejudice. We have Sense and Sensibility board games. We have the Jane Austen board game. We have A Place for All My Books. If you like just books in general, we have the Great Library coming out by Ian O'Toole and Vital Lacerda. If you like, the concept of being a librarian in a heavy game. If let's say you want a light game that's a unique theme, we got River Valley Glassworks. We have so many different options today than we had ever before. Now, I listed a bunch of games that are good or probably going to be good, but let's say all those bad games coming out, they're just different options of lower caliber potentially, but also they're a lot more accessible. They don't have that super high price tag for the most point. I know there's certain games like Stellar Drift that just came out a few years ago. Stellar Drift is a pull and write game from Mystic Tiger Games. It was a publisher based in Central Florida, and that game's fantastic and has a $25 price point. Any other company that comes out with that game would probably make it at least $40. But Stellar Drift was $25. So people who want to get into board games, even if it's just I see a guy that's local, I want to try out his game, and it's I want to find something that's simple enough, boom, they got into games. A lot of games can be gifted now. People like dragons. There's so many dragon-based board games now. Wormspan blew up in popularity, and I got a lot of people who aren't even board gamers into board gaming. I got my friends into board gaming just based off Wormspan. They owned it because of the dragon theme. They never played it. It's a heavier game, but they got right into it just based off the theme itself, and you don't have to scare them off. Don't say it's a heavy game. Just have them play and see if they like it. We just have so many options these days that we didn't have previously. So I think the overpopulation of overproduction of board games is a subjective nature. Now, it is true that there's so many board game Kickstarters coming out right now, and all these Kickstarters are giving a lot of other Kickstarters negative reputation. There are companies that are not fulfilling. There are companies who are asking for a lot more money in the back end. There are companies who are selling deluxe components of games that end up being like low production quality, or games that are expected to be high quality and end up being low quality. This all potentially could be factors that could hurt the industry in certain ways. However, these are being done by both high-end companies and low-end companies. CMON is currently in a dangerous position to hurt a lot of their customers. We've seen other publishers go bankrupt because of the Kickstarter crowdfunding model. We've had small game companies who just did one shot, never said anything, just left. I've been burned once or twice on Kickstarter. But regardless, that's not based on the overpopulation. That's just based off the fact that that's a risk of the nature of games. If you go ahead and you just stop doing crowdfunding games, the risk goes goes away entirely. Wait until it's at Barnes & Nobles. Wait until it's at the local board game store. Wait until you see it at Target. I don't really care. But regardless, there are ways to mitigate your risk in board gaming in general. Maybe don't buy a deluxe game if you haven't seen the physical quality yet. Maybe don't buy a deluxe game if you haven't even at least tried the base game once. If you don't like the base game, don't get the deluxe version of it. Spending $80 more for better components won't make the game itself better. There's just a lot of ways in board game, but I don't really think that overproduction exists in the board game industry. I know right now I think there's supposed to be like 100,000 songs being uploaded a week that are AI based to Spotify or something like that. And that's not hurting all music as a whole. That is definition could be overpopulated where so many low quality things are being uploaded. And theoretically with the same standards, it could be hurting the industry of music, but it's not because good quality still exists. They're just adding different things for different listeners. If you're going to listen to AI music, those are your options. If you're not going to listen to AI music, you're never going to go there anyways. Same thing exists where if you're going to get into board gaming, if in the 90s, you are very limited on options, who to play with, where to go, and all of those details. But nowadays, you can play with just about anyone. If you want a really, really light game, but you want an IP on it, you have Lord of the Rings, a trick-taking game. If you want to get into a classic game, you have Seven Wonders. Oh, I only have 2 people, Seven Wonders Duel. If you want to get into, I like the Red Rising series, and I want a game that of an IP I appreciate, go get the Red Rising board game. If you want pirates, you have a million pirate-based games. If you want heavy pirate-based game, you can get a heavy one. You can get a low pirates-based game. Oh, I like Choose Your Own Adventures. Go get Vantage by Sema or by Silmar Games. I like, playing with my friends cooperatively. Pandemic, I want IP. Lord of the Rings Pandemic, I don't care. I like Cthulhu. Go get the Deep Waters Pandemic, whatever it might be. There is something for anyone. And yes, I'm talking about the big ones right now because I can't list the ones I don't know if there are a million small ones. But regardless, those are all just different options. And I don't believe, and nor do 79% of people who took the poll, out of 156 votes, we had 21% of people who said yes, and we had 79% of people who said no. So I'm in the majority that say this is not hurting them. Just because more games come out, they're low quality, it does not hurt all board gaming. The good ones are still going to be good. The bad ones are just going to be bad. In worst case, the publishers wasted their money and they don't get a single dime back from it, and it sucks for them, but it's not really going to hurt all of board gaming. That doesn't really, the logic in and of itself, in my opinion, doesn't really track. If you have a different opinion, go ahead and write it in the comments below. But that's everything I have for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting and participating with us. If you like what we talked about, go and subscribe. We have a lot of listicles for board games if you prefer that content. If you found this video, thank you for being part of this. Thank you for supporting Gaming Caravan. Just watching this long is a huge support, and I appreciate that. If you're watching live on our 9 p.m. live stream we do every single day EST, I appreciate you. Thank you. Love you for being here. But until next time, that's everything. Peace. Have a great day. God bless. And I really hope to see you at the table soon.